So we're back in my kitchen, but these are different chairs. This is a different table. Is it? I don't know. Here's the thing. I had all intents and purposes to get my podcast room set up today, but it didn't happen. So
that's okay.
It's next week. All my stuff, there's a pod outside right now. It's a giant pod.
I was like,
I asked for the smallest size. What do they tell me? Oh, it's going across state lines to New York. You're going to have the biggest size. I was like, this is enough to fit 3 bedrooms. I need to move like a couple things to New York. But all the stuff is, my mom's like, just order stuff and have it sent to New York. And I go, no, Mom, the stuff I have here in Nashville that I'm putting in my New York apartment is very expensive furniture. So I'd rather just pay them pod people to come pick it up and take it to New York. But it's a process. It really is. And I can't get in that podcast room until the New York stuff comes out of it and goes into the pod. The giant pod. I mean, the pod is giant. There was like a giant machine that came and dropped it off. There was like beep, boop, boop.
I was actually going to say, I've never really thought about this logistically until this exact moment on this microphone.
If you have anything that you need to move from Nashville to New York City, I have a lot of room in my pod. If anyone needs it,
I will share my pod.
Dropped off on May 7th.
Interesting.
There's a lot of logistics, but welcome back to my cooking show. And
we're still in the kitchen, but honestly, I like it.
It's nice. It's good lighting. Nice. Okay, so Anna Grace and I
wow, we have like so much to unpack right now. I'm literally like, I just boofed a coffee.
I have been on a coffee journey. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube right now, because these are all available, full episodes on YouTube.
Go check it out.
Thank you, producer Courtney. I've been drinking a lot of coffee. I've been like not in the mood to drink during the podcast. Sometimes I am.
We have to film pretty early too.
Yeah, but we film it like in the afternoon. Yeah. But I've just been not in the mood to day drink. I don't know. Maybe I'm evolving.
She's
that
maturing.
Actually feels like a digression a little bit. But yeah, today I thought I want to be a little buzzed for this conversation because it has me in stitches.
Also, this is about to be an emotional roller coaster. Like for me,
you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna be stressed out. Everything is gonna be.
You're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be having the time of your life.
You're gonna be on the edge of your seat. Then you're gonna be locked in a bathroom. Everything's gonna happen. Okay. All right. So.
We took notes the whole time too. This time we really were like there were so many things that happened. And I'm like, we're prepared. But I think we're just going to go ahead and just roll it out chronologically.
That will be easiest for us to follow and for you guys to follow. Someone messaged me the other day and goes, oh my fucking gosh, I didn't realize I had you know how I always joke, like it sounds like you accidentally switched your podcast into 1.5 speed?
Yes.
So this girl goes, holy shit, I just listened to half your episode before I realized I did accidentally have it in 1.5 speed. She goes, I was like, I know she talks fast, but this girl has to be on drugs for this episode. Like she is talking crazy
so fast.
Oh,
what?
I got new teeth.
Oh my gosh. That's literally,
they're great.
I've already seen you over FaceTime.
You've seen me on FaceTime. Okay, so let me just break this down really quick.
Your bottom teeth look so much better in person.
Yes, I know. I did.
Or than your temporaries, I mean.
Of course, yeah. So I did full upper and lowers, and I just want to give a quick shout out because Smile Texas in Houston and Dr. Julie, like, I was obviously so afraid. I go into her appointment. She goes, I listened to your podcast. And I go,
whoops.
Oh,
what happened?
She's like, Shannon, nobody uses pecan crackers in the dental world. And I go, well, the YouTube video my friend saw, and she was like, nobody's doing that. It was the easiest process. Like, honestly, the only thing that it's a long process. Like I was in there to get my permanents for 5 hours, but keep in mind, the whole time I was in Coachella, I had temporaries on. So that was dicey. She was like my teeth protector. She'd be like, don't eat that.
No, she'd be like, let's just get a bottle of red wine. I'm like, stop it.
And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. But no, so I go in to get my temporaries taken off and my permanents put on, and it's just a long procedure, you know?
Right.
And you're in there and you're awake, you're just numbed up. And you guys, I fell asleep. She goes, and I knew I fell asleep twice. I fell asleep twice and I woke up or like kind of came to during it because they put these little blocks in your mouth so you don't have to hold your mouth open. Your mouth is kind of propped open.
That still like makes me feel like I'm trapped in the closet.
Your jaw, it's not that bad. Your jaw is a little sore afterwards just because you've held it open for 5 hours. But me, again, knocking head to completion. Don't got the jaw for it. Okay?
The jaw strength is not there. As soon as you said that, I was about to make a sexual innuendo, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, obviously always going to beat you to that one. So yeah, it was fine. And she goes, I go out with her. It was so easy and like, painless that like I want to say an hour after I was finished, her and I went into a steak restaurant and just had like the best time ever. And they're so beautiful. I'm so happy they made the color natural like I wanted. The color is perfect. The shape, like, oh, I'm just so happy. So anyways, yeah, I was there and she goes, yeah, you were lightly snoring at one point. And I go, oh no. And she goes, I think it was maybe like the cotton gauze and stuff. But yeah, at one point you are snoring. And I was like, that needs to be just credited on the podcast that it was such an easy procedure that I fell asleep.
You snored.
And that I snored.
Also, you don't actually really snore though in real life.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive.
I'm always so afraid. It's not a big deal if you snore, but here's the thing. I don't want to be one. Like, I just don't. Like, I would hate to be, like, I don't have a boyfriend yet that loves me for me. So, like, I don't want to be sleeping with a boy and him be like, she fucking snores.
No, you don't snore. And if you do, I think it'd be like ever so gingerly, like a, you know?
That sounds like a cat's purr. Okay. So
Shannon has new teeth. She looks beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And your ulcers are healed.
I didn't get any more. I get canker sores really bad. So this go round, I got like a steroid shot in the midst of the procedure. And I think it prevented me from getting any canker sores. So we don't even have any canker sores.
Y'all, like, I was basically baby birding food into her mouth.
It was really sad.
Because,
It was
like,
hard, guys.
It was.
If you suffer from canker sores, I'm really sorry. If I could have an ad space right now for canker sticks or canker sore numbness cream, it would be a great time to do that because I really, really, really have a lot of pain.
And people, like, if you're like, oh, like, I have a canker sore, people are like, oh, and I'm like, no, she gets like,
you didn't see Shannon's.
all like,
there's
top,
like 5
bottom,
of them on the
people,
top,
like,
6 on the
eating,
bottom.
like, it was like wild.
It's bad, but we didn't get those this time. So even more good news. And also
great news.
I hate to be this like girly pop that does this because it's so annoying, but in the next 2 weeks, I will be announcing something very, 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 very exciting to do with the podcast. And I'm just going to give you guys
At first I was like, what?
I'm just going to give you guys a little teaser.
Tease.
I don't know what that word was. Okay, so we go to Coachella. I take me and my temporaries to Coachella. The flight was early. She got really stressed out on the flight there.
The flight there was not
I don't think she ate. I like yoked, of course. I go to the airport. I'm like, sausage biscuit, gravy, tater tots with cheese. And she's like, I'll have a cup of fruit. The flight from Nashville to LA is 4.5 hours.
No. I know for specifically because I saw 4 hours and 44 minutes. Angel numbers, love. But also, that's 5 hours.
She literally goes to me.
I get on the plane. I'm like, are we going to London?
She texts me an hour and a half into the flight. I fell asleep. I do this thing where I don't drink coffee the morning flights and stuff. I just pack myself full of carbs and just go sleep. But she goes, did we get on the wrong plane? Are we going to London? And I was like, I think 2 more hours we could be there, but like no.
Like because the flight home was like 3.5 hours. The wind, tailwinds. I know the wind's really, it's wild.
She was like got off the plane and I was like, we're here, and she goes,
no, I was like that early morning nauseous, hadn't eaten. Thank goodness I was sitting next to one of our friends who lives in Nashville, her fiance, Sarah Bell's fiance. He happened to be sitting next to me on the plane, completely random, but I was like and I'm like, he's like, do you want me to hold something? I have like 19 hats. I've got a denim jacket with diamond fringe. Like I have so much of my phone at one point wasn't working and I'm like, can you fix my phone?
Can you fix my phone, please?
I was like being so needy. And then I start going, I don't know, I'm feeling really nauseous. And he's like, it's okay. Like he was just being
what a guy. We love you, Cody. That's a good guy. Really also let us not forget early morning flight. So we were on the phone with short king funny guy. We're gonna call him funny guy. His funniness way outweighs his height.
He's too funny.
He's too funny. He's funny guy because that's how we keep referencing him. So he's funny guy. So we were on the phone with him the night before we left. He was like, how early is y'all's flight? And we were like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. He goes, oh no, I hate early morning flights. You always feel like your like tummy hurts. And we go, yeah, like you do. Like you wake up and you feel nauseous. He goes, I always get diarrhea whenever early morning flights. I go, again, I think you have gastric issues. Like
I think you have IBS.
I think you're shitting your pants for attention, and I think you have like gastric issues. Like you do. Like I was like, oh yeah, my stomach always hurts early morning flights. He goes, yeah, always get horrible diarrhea. I was like, okay, no.
I get like kind of barfy. Like I feel like I'm gonna barf.
You get kind of nauseous. I just do not fuck with the early morning flight. It's tough, but that was like one of the only options to get us where we needed to be at the right time.
And we basically just like spent our entire day in the air, driving to LA, driving back to the airport. We
decided to rent a car to drive because here's the thing: you land in LAX for these festivals, and you have to drive to Palm Springs. So it's a 3.5 hour drive. But keep in mind, everyone else at this moment is also driving the same place, so the traffic makes it like 4 hours. So I was like, we'll just rent a car so we don't have to mess with any like shuttle. The company we went with was really great and had shuttles, but we just like didn't trust ourselves with making anything on time, so we rented a car.
We were kind of like, we're wild birds.
We're little wild.
We're kind of hard to tame. We're kind of hard to herd.
We just need to, we're like herding cats. We just needed our own.
We're gonna provide our own transportation just because
we had a lot of like loose things everywhere. So we drove in, and the first day was lovely. We had like a nice dinner. My canker sores hurt really bad.
We did. We had like a romantic dinner, just the two of us.
It was nice. We ate like tiramisu, and then we woke up and we drove to Palm Springs. And we checked into the Parker Hotel, which is gorgeous.
Yes.
It was confusing though.
They literally took the sign off of the Parker Hotel and put a Revolve sign on
so
there.
Revolve, like absolutely I mean, this was like iconic, and I actually talked to one of the girls that works for Revolve, and she was like, no, we like, because keep in mind they haven't been able to do this for 2 years because of COVID, so this is the first year back, and it's like, I want to say I don't have really a lot of facts here that are accurate, but I'm
absolutely
assuming
no data on this podcast.
There's absolutely no data that you should ever take seriously on this podcast. But what I'm assuming is that over the course of the 2 years of quarantine, I believe Revolve has quadrupled, dupled in all of their sales because so, you know, now they have even more of a budget, I'm assuming too. They just got huge over quarantine. They were always big deal. And then I feel like when everyone's just doing nothing but shopping and they like were very smart and poured all their like budget and money into influencers and reels and TikToks and whatever, like, you know, that's how you do good. So anyways, the experience for us was just like crazy cool with this hotel. They had the whole hotel set up as Hotel Revolve.
Yeah, there was Hotel Revolve, filled the whole hotel with everyone in our industry.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. So we got to meet a lot of people that we don't normally like see. Everyone was super nice. I was like running into people. We were running into people that were like so fucking famous, like Leonie and am I saying her name right?
Tezza was there. Her and her husband were right there, and
we were just like,
y'all,
damn, Shawty.
Tezza's so beautiful, and just like I can just tell her aura is just so kind in person. I was just like,
you did keep going. Oh, I just love seeing her.
I just love her, and I didn't want to be those. Like, here's the thing: when you're
when
you're one of these people, like, or when you're an influencer, just amongst all influencers, and then like the really famous ones come in. You can't be like, I'm a huge fan, because then it's like, you know, you have to be like in a protected space. We all respect each other.
You never want anyone to be like, God, I came here and all it's doing is having to go, oh, hi, how are you?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, so we didn't want to do that to anyone, but like low-key, we'd walk away and be like, shut the fuck up. But I did say hey to Devin Brugman.
Oh, that was funny.
That was funny because Devin Brugman, I get sent her. She's an incredible influencer model. I mean, all the things.
A delight in real life.
And so fucking hot. I mean,
it's so hot.
Unconstitutionally hot. And so, anyways, I keep getting her PR packages sent to me from this one company, specifically Laura Mercier. If you work for Laura Mercier and you are listening to this podcast,
a little bit of a mix-up.
In their PR department, there's just been a bit of a mix-up, and I just keep getting Devin Brugman's packages. But I didn't register it at first, and when they actually got delivered to me the first time, I was going around my neighborhood asking if anyone knew a Devin Brugman, because I'm a girl, and if I received if someone else got my massive, because it was this massive makeup package, I hadn't opened it yet, so I didn't know it was a PR package.
Yeah.
I thought someone ordered a bunch of makeup.
You're like, this is expensive.
And I'm like, this shit is expensive. I know this person will want it. So I went over to like two of my neighbors who are older, and I was like, do you guys know Devin Brugman? And they're like, no. And I was like, shoot, I got her package. And then I finally said something to Anna Grace, because she was like, oh, what's this? And I go, it's not mine. It's someone. I said, do you know Devin Brugman? And she goes, Shannon.
I'm like, bitch, I've been following Monday Swimwear for like 6 years. Like, Devin has been on IG. She looks flawless.
She's unreal. I mean, prettier in person.
I couldn't even. I have no idea how old she is. I don't think she. I mean,
she's gorgeous.
I don't know like what age she is. You could tell me anything, and I'm like, she's just
no
immaculate.
idea. No, I started following her and am obsessed with her. But I did see her, and I go, oh my gosh, that's Devin Brugman. I go, would it be weird if I went up to her and said like, I get your PR packages? She's like, no, you're cool, do it. So I was like, all right. So I was like, hey, super quick. And she goes, oh yeah, no, what's up? Like, she was fully expecting a fan experience, and I get all your Laura Mercier like PR packages. I go, all of them, like so many. They're huge because she's a big deal. So
right.
She goes, oh my gosh, no way. I go, there's quite the mix of, I don't know. I go, I've gotten to this point maybe 7. She was like, I wonder if I'm getting yours. I go, if you are, they're probably a lot smaller. Okay, so you're getting the short end of the stick here, because I imagine if there's tiers to this shit, your tier is a lot bigger than mine. And she was like, that's hilarious. And she was super nice and kind in person. So yeah, just a lot of like big deal people there, and it was cool.
Yeah, ran into lots of kind souls. We had a great time at the Revolve Hotel, except for, I don't know if you guys caught us on Instagram stories. We just had an absolute
influencers that were there go, your stories were so chaotic. Like, they weren't being mean to me, but they were like, yeah, like, you guys were very lost, huh? I go, yes, are you guys not lost?
And people kept being like, oh my gosh, you guys back on the mushroom journey? I'm like, no. Here's the thing,
we're lost.
Shannon and I have like a running joke with each other that we call each other bots, because like
this is true.
You can take me anywhere and put me in the city of Nashville, and I will accidentally
drive to Shannon's house
or Starbucks or my house. Like, you could be like, go left this light. I'll just start going right, because that's where my house.
And you know what? We both do it, and we both catch each other. I'll go, what are you doing? You're not going to my house. And she'll go, oh yeah, robot. Like, we are bots.
We are bots. Like, I'm programmed to go to Starbucks, my house, Shannon's house. Anywhere else, I have not a clue.
That's it. Same. I'm a slave to my GPS. It's bad. I know. Actually, Funny Guy makes fun of my geographical like disabilities all the time. I don't understand maps. I don't get them. I don't want to get them. Really, I don't care to get them.
I don't care. Austin and I are planning a trip right now, and he's like, you don't know where Barbados is? And I'm like, no.
Who the fuck knows where Barbados is?
No, pull up a map.
Like, on a map.
Like, he's always like, come on, babe. And I'm like,
that's what he said.
Shut up.
He goes, what do you do? He goes, have you ever been to Europe? I go, yeah. He goes, so what do you do when you get on the plane? You just are like, I'm flying to Europe. I go, Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yes.
Sure, if they have one of those graphs like on the plane screen, I'll watch it for a bit and then I'll turn on a movie.
I'll
like,
look at
what
it.
do you mean? He's like, you just hop on a plane and you're like, I'm going to Europe, but you don't know what direction Europe
No
is.
one,
I go,
honestly, no one. They taught us maps one time when I was like 9.
I just go,
how old were we in 5th
I was
grade?
like, sorry,
11?
I don't have the
know.
same map knowledge as you, Rain Man. I just like don't know.
That's such a man thing. They like
Maps.
know
It's
maps,
like they want
directions.
They're like, we have balls and maps. What do you have? We're like, our
I'm like-
fucking sanity and some champagne. Shut the fuck up. Like, I just don't care. I don't care to know where. And he was like, actually, he was like classic American, and I was like, whatever, whatever.
That is honestly,
It is kind of probably true though.
true. Classic.
Okay,
So, anyways, we were we
get lost.
It was a dark maze.
The whole
place
it's
was
a beautiful hotel and
it
it's a
was
beautiful
stunning in
almost
the daylight.
resort, but like it's there's this shrubbery that's built up all the way, almost truly like a maze
the sky.
To the sky. It looks like if there's an
Way
aerial
tall.
view, I'm sure it's beautiful, but I bet it's a maze. And by the 3rd day of us just being so goddamn lost, I say we're drinking red wine with one of the like
We were just shooting the shit with one of the
shooting the
servers.
shit with one of the servers, and I go, hey, real quick, riddle me fucking this. Why can no one find where anything's at? And here's what I did know right off the bat. I knew that Palm Springs doesn't do light pollution. So that was a big issue when we were trying to find our way back
really
at
quick.
night.
We posted on Instagram and people were like, y'all are so dumb. Light pollution is not real. I'm like, it
It is.
absolutely real.
It's real. So it's a thing. So chill the fuck out. It's a thing. But she Palm Springs does not have lights on their path.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's very dark. We're using our flashlight app. That I won't blame them for, but
We're like, we respect the environment.
I
but,
respect
like,
the environment, so I didn't blame them for that, but it just made, navigating a lot harder.
But
so
signage.
Here's the thing.
Left, right.
It's like 4 blocks to get from the lobby to our building. So why is there not one single sign that says this way to North Tower? So I asked the server, I say, hey, riddle me this. Why would you not put any signs up? And she goes, oh man, everyone gets lost here. She goes, I work here, and anytime anyone asks me where something is, I just go like, oh, I just started working here, but I've worked here for 4 years. She's like, I just don't know.
That would be exact. I'd be like, oh, I don't know. I'm super new here. They're like, you've been here since 2017.
And I go, why don't they put any signs up? She goes, well, here at the Parker, we just really want everyone to feel like they're at home. Like they don't want signs everywhere. So they just want everyone to feel like they're at their own home. I go, let me tell you something right now. No one feels like they're at home. We're lost.
We're confused.
We are naked and afraid.
Also, Shannon kept telling the same joke to like literally everyone that would pass. And like, it's another thing that I'm like, is this because we're from the South?
Okay, so we would keep running into, obviously there's like hundreds of influencers staying at this hotel.
And like some we know and some we don't know. But
Dozens.
Shannon and I are just kind of like, at this point, I was assuming everyone was an influencer. I was just talking to everyone like,
I think they were. Most of them were. And so
there was one girl at the bar that wasn't there, and I was like,
oh, yeah.
you here for this too?
And
she was like, no.
Well, we were passing people whether we knew them or not. Like they were just like, everyone, by the way, everyone looked confused and everyone's walking around and I was like, oh, we're heading back to our room if it's this way. And they were like, I know, right? It's so tricky. And I go, I know, over the river and through the woods to grandma's house. And everyone was like, silence, just like no response. I was like,
and every time I would have to laugh because I'm like,
no, I did say it 4 times, and the 4th time I got no laugh. I was like, Shannon, just cut it out. just
like,
drop
I'd
it.
be like, she's crazy.
She's crazy. She's crazy. Over the river, that she's crazy. No, you did always try to hype me up. It's not that funny of a joke, I guess. Now I think of it, but like it kind of was because if you were there, we were like in the woods. Like to get to where you're going, you have to go through a wooded maze. And I was like, all right, and everyone was like, yep. So we're headed to the South Tower. Bye, bitch. No one said that.
No, they're like, see you guys.
But yeah, and then she goes, yeah, we don't call it, the server goes, yeah, we also don't call the hotel lobby the lobby. We call it the living room. I go, again, nobody feels at home here. Like it was a lovely hotel, but I don't think anyone felt at home. We felt like we were at a beautiful hotel. Also, lack of signage, not comfortable.
Lack of directions. We kept like, we would run into someone and be like, no. They'd be like, up there to the left. We're like, no, you're gonna have to lead us. You don't leave.
I started leaving myself breadcrumbs, dude. I honestly like tied a ribbon around a tree at one point. I was like, if someone better not take this down. Like, I gotta fucking see this shit when we come back.
We kept being like the banana sculpture.
Yeah, I'd be like, we're gonna left at the banana and a right at the fountain, but not the small fountain. That big one that has the little crystals on it. And she's like, right. We would be like, we passed the banana. We've gone too far. Okay. Anyways, this is boring, but we just need you to know that it was like very confusing.
Yeah, because honestly, this is just about to go a lot of directions. One of which I guess we should go ahead and address. Do you want to say the words?
Yeah. Firefest. It wasn't Firefest. So here's the thing.
This is what happened.
We will give you the absolute lowdown. And you guys know me. I love Revolve. I work with Revolve. I hope that Revolve works with me. We want to shake our asses on a yacht. In Italy.
That's what we're trying to do.
So hear me right now. I fucking love Revolve. And that's the truth. I buy everything. They
Shannon's
obviously
whole wardrobe is Revolve.
They give, clearly this is how it works. They give influencers clothing credits, and then we use the credits, and then we like link them. All that, obviously, people understand that's how influencing works. But here's the thing: I actually spend my own dollars on Revolve a lot. It's just convenient. I like the clothes. I like the company. I have nothing but good things to say about it. So you guys know that I feel that way, but I've also been very real with you guys, like about the wellness retreat. I'm like, that is not my fucking jam, but I'm gonna go shake hands and kiss babies. So you're gonna get a real unfiltered raw reaction right now. And here's really what we feel about it. Okay, so all the stuff that we saw the next day, and I kept waiting. You know, it was like those tweets that came out where that guy's like, "There people are pushing each other." Like it's like all I ever saw was those tweets. Like there was a video that was like circulating around on Barstool that was like the one guy that's like, "If you are an influencer, show me your bands." I was so scared that we were gonna keep being in the background of videos, and I was gonna be in this like long gown.
I was like mortified with that video, and I am an influencer. I'm like, oh no.
I know, we were like not the fucking guy being like, "If you're an influencer, like
if you're an influencer, get to the front. Everyone else get to the back."
We were like, this is embarrassing.
And that was the staff saying that, and that was someone that was just hired to run the bus system. That had nothing to do with Revolve.
And they're probably getting all these calls from the people that work at Revolve that are like, "Hey, the girls that we outfitted and paid to be here, they've got to get to the festival." I was literally supposed to have an interview. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I was literally supposed to have an interview with Remy. I'm just like heated and pissed about it. And I couldn't make it. Like, so the bus system was just very confusing. And I don't know who to fault for that. Revolve, the staff, whoever. Like the bus system was just chaotic because there were a lot of people. And here's what I think happened. There are several shuttles, right? Shuttles that get you in very early. There was a shuttle running at 1, 2, 3, 4.
You need to tell them to.
Everyone took the later shuttles.
Yeah.
So that is, I want to give Revolve a little bit of credit here because it's not their fault that they set up all these shuttles, and everyone, what I think might have been a better idea is to assign people shuttles and say, you're on shuttle 1 p.m., you're on shuttle 2 p.m. If you miss it, you miss it. Like you don't get the choice to choose because everyone obviously, like we did, we were like, we don't want to be there for 8 hours. We want to get there like a normal time, like 3 or 4.
You're in the desert.
You're in the desert. It's hot. Like I'm a ginger. I didn't want to be there all day. So I was like, we'll take the later shuttle, which of course everyone else said we'll take the later shuttle. So what happened? Our friends that decided to take the earliest shuttle, they got right into the festival.
But we need to explain that the shuttle, so they shut down the entire street so that absolutely no one could get into Revolve Festival.
You cannot, and I found this out. It is based on the like rules of the city because Revolve was having such a large festival with free booze, free alcohol, all that kind of stuff. And it was a ticketed event that you could only get in if you had a wristband kind of thing. Because of that, the city does not allow Ubers to drop people off. They had to provide transportation.
Right.
So they basically give you a shuttle address where it's this like giant desert. All the videos you guys saw that would look like a desolate like land of just like sand. That is where you met for the shuttle, and there was shade. I don't know. People are saying there was no shade. There was shade. It was covered. But there was no water. There was no like water stations, which I don't know. I mean, I guess people definitely get hot and needed water, so maybe that was an oversight for sure. But the place was very desolate. But that was where you get on the very nice shuttles, the very very nice like luxury shuttles, and then they take you to the other location, probably 10, 15 minutes away, where the Revolve Festival is being held.
Right.
So everyone, like we said, it was just chaotic because everyone decided I don't want to be there all day.
Everyone kind of showed up at one time, and the second part, that the issue I think that got it circulated, was that everyone there was an influencer, so everyone had a platform. Some people might have had a bad experience, some people had an okay experience. Like it was just
it was tough because you did almost have to tell people who you were and what you were doing. So
it kind of made everyone like sound like a douche.
It was cringy. I had to do it too. It was so cringy. I had to be like, I have an actual interview with Remy, who's being here with Revolve
E-News.
For E-News. I have to get on this next shuttle. Guess what the staff said? No problem. We just got radioed from staff. You're approved. Skip the line. I'm like, say it again. He's like, hop the fence and skip the line. So we were being told to hop the fence. So then the videos come out. Thank God I'm not in the background of one of them. But here's the truth of the matter. Here's where I'll be very honest with you. Like the loser influencers that were jumping the line and screaming that they were more important, I was, in a very much nicer way, I was one of them because I did have to get to the event. Right. And I was technically supposed to be there. So I'm not saying I'm more important than anyone there. I'm just saying I fucked up, and I knew I fucked up, and I called and was like, I don't know how to get into this festival to make the time of the interview. She was like, we're going to radio down and get you to skip the line. We did. But guess what I had to do? I had to skip the line. Me, Southern, and very stressed out about ever ruffling feathers. People pleaser to the max. No worries if not. It's going to be on my tombstone. No worries if not.
No worries if not.
No worries if not. Me worrying.
That part was just like,
it was so cringe.
It was cringe.
We were a part of the cringe. It was very cringy, and I feel very bad for people who were like, I'm not going to be.
There were some people who flew, from wherever, weren't housed with Revolve, but still were influencers, and then didn't get in.
And that sucks.
Like that sucks. That's where we were like,
I saw one TikTok where this girl was like, I'm not staying with Revolve. I just got invited to the festival, which that was a big feat too. If you're an influencer, that's great. And so she was like, I paid for my own flights. I paid for my own hotels and Airbnbs. I got all the way to the festival and I literally couldn't get in because I stood in line for 5 hours. That is fucked.
That's,
like,
yeah.
And I don't know who to, the shuttle system, the staff. I know bus drivers at one point were just giving up because people were being brutal. Anna Grace and I politely stood there until we were ushered onto a bus. Here's what we would never fucking do: push, grab, do anything weird. That's just not in our nature.
I wanted to put on my invisibility cloak and just...
I wanted to melt into the sand and give water to someone that needed it, because I just literally
we were telepathically looking at each other like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I was like, I'm gonna be on a fucking video. I'm gonna be on a video. I just know I'm gonna be on a video. And it's gonna be my gold dress jumping over the fence, and everyone's gonna be like, I mean, there were people literally I wouldn't look behind myself when I hopped the fence, because again, the staff was like, we just got radio word, you got to make this interview. Which, by the way, still never made the interview. Yeah, but she was like, they said you got to make the interview, jump the fence. I was like, don't look behind you, don't look behind you. When I tell you, when I jumped the fence, all it was fuck you, fuck her. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I gotta do it though. It's work. I was being paid. I gotta do it.
I mean, that's what you.
I had deliverables. I had to do it. Okay. Anyways, all right. So that's a real unfiltered raw. We were the shitty ones. We were not the shitty ones. It was all.
We understand that it was definitely chaotic. We definitely had a different experience, and I do feel bad for people that flew all the way out there and got the short end of the stick.
I absolutely do. But I want to say this really quick. Okay. Where are people that are talking about, everyone's talking about Revolve Fest being Fire Fest? That's not the fucking case, because let me tell you this. When you got in that bitch,
818 flowing down your
boof
mouth hole
for free. I tried to fucking pay. I ordered 4 shots, 4 drinks for my 4 friends. And I hand a card. She looks at me like I'm crazy. She's like, it's open bar all day. Do you know how many people there? I would say 2,000, 2,500 people. Free, very nice tequila. However you wanted it, margarita, shots, whatever you want. And then there was like organic food trucks out the wazoo. There were luxury porta potties that were like had mirrors and AC and like toilets. Yeah. And then there was like Post Malone so close you could fucking smell him.
Yeah.
And like Jack Harlow.
Ty Dolla was on. I was like
Ty Dolla Sign was on. Like the Revolve Festival was incredible. So it just kind of, I will say, just to be sticking up for them, it kind of bummed me out when people were like, it's like Fire Fest. I go, okay, the shuttle system was logistically frustrating, and totally could not agree more. The Revolve Festival was sick as fuck.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we saw the Kardashians.
Yeah, okay, like it was sick as fuck. It was just, overall, it was cool. There was like so many stations to take photos. It was just like, there was rides, like everything was free. At Coachella, you gotta pay. I mean, I bought a $40 tequila soda at Coachella. Oh. Like everything at Revolve was free.
Everything at Revolve was free.
So anyways, that's all we had to say about that. But a lot of you have asked me, like,
we got a lot of, and I couldn't even like start, we got a lot of DMs and we were like, we couldn't even like begin to open that can of worms, because also like, we know the people that personally put it together, and like we know they did the absolute best they could, like, but then we know the influencers that couldn't get in, and we're like, that fucking sucks. So we were just like,
we agree. And
when in doubt, we were just like,
no, but we want to be honest with you, because that's who we are, and that's the platform we have. So like,
happened.
that's from start to finish what happened.
Speaking of all the people that we ran into, this is actually before we got into Revolve Fest, and here's the thing.
This is like the day before Coachella.
Yeah. This is like one of these things that like I always had a weird gut feeling. I'm like, I know I'm gonna be with Shannon when we run into this girl.
It's so funny too, because I go, no,
Shannon was like, no, you
It'll
won't.
be in New York if I run into her.
Yeah, she's like, Grace, shut up. I'm like, I swear, I know I'm gonna run into her. I know we're gonna be together. And here's the thing: we run into.
Okay. Yeah. No, if we can. I don't mind. At this point, I've done all I can do.
Yeah, we have. So
we keep it nice and transparent here. There is nothing else I could do. I'm not trying to like this is just me telling my life.
We're telling the story of the chronological.
This is the story.
So we run into Tinks, and
if you're in my life, or if anything has happened in my life, I'm going to talk about it. Boys, guys, girls, if you are in my life, I'm going to talk about you. Yes. So yeah, Tinks.
So we run into Tinks,
who's a famous influencer,
or she's TikToker.
TikTok and whatever.
TikToker.
She's
so
blown up. So
we run into her, and I always was like, and here's the reason that I was nervous to run into her.
The reason Anna Grace is nervous to run into her is because Tinks has blocked me, and this brings up an interesting conversation, because I think our demographic, Tinks and I's, really overlaps to the point that everyone that follows me loves Tinks. Okay, I haven't personally been given the opportunity to love her because I'm blocked.
Well, I actually I feel a little guilty, which is why I was even more nervous to be with her.
No.
Because I know. And Shannon's like, no,
it's not your fault.
It's not my fault, but it is a little bit my fault that Tinks blocked her.
Okay.
And let me tell you guys why. This is literally what happened.
I'm pouring one up.
I'm like,
pouring out for the homies.
Like, you guys look at me. I'm like a freaking lamb. I love everyone on social media.
She is a lamb.
I love TikTok. I love TikTok.
She's our TikTok queen.
I only consume content on TikTok. Like, almost to the point where I feel bad when people are like, did you see my story? And I'm like,
if it was on TikTok, no.
I didn't. And here's the thing about
and
TikTok.
I'm only on Instagram.
So Shannon only watches Instagram stories. Shannon is an Instagram story queen. Like, she's always in my DMs gassing me up. I am always just watching absolute strangers on TikTok. So, and this was like,
I love TikTok, but it's just, I go there to like giggle when I'm like on a long flight or something. Yeah. I'm not like waking up and opening TikTok.
And I feel like if you're not on TikTok, then you don't know who Tinks is. And so I started following Tinks on TikTok.
Well, she's blown up since then.
Yes. But we're talking about this story was like 6 or 7 months ago.
We need to preface immediately that this all happened. I have never brought this up because it just felt awkward, but now I will because, you know, it kind of came to fruition at Coachella.
I kept being like, we're going to run into her. And Shannon's like,
yeah.
No, not.
So this all happened in October of last year.
Yes. And so I had been watching one of her videos, and literally, like Shannon said, it was over a year ago. And it was when she was talking about the dating and putting people in a box. It was like her box theory video. Well, so like, I don't know, like 2 weeks later, Shannon had gone on a date with some guy. I can't even remember what the situation was, but Shannon was down bad.
I think it was Chicago guy.
Maybe. Shannon was down bad over this guy. She was like upset. She had her feelings hurt.
My feelings were hurt.
And her feelings were hurt. And me, you know, being the good friend that I am, I always love to give like data.
Advice.
Like I always have to give advice with like a story or something that I'm never gonna be like, it's gonna be okay. Like I always like to be like, you know why it's gonna be okay?
Because XYZ.
This is why. Yeah. And I always have a reason. And I had just watched, it was like right when the box theory came out, I just watched Tink's video and I told Shannon, I'm like, you know what, Shannon, I actually there's this girl I follow on TikTok and she just posted this TikTok saying, you know, if you're in a box.
She didn't send me the TikTok. She just explained it to me.
I just told her, and I didn't even say Tinks' name. I literally was just like, I just saw this girl's video. It really resonated with me. And I gave Shannon the advice literally in a moment.
The box theory, by the way.
In a moment of her sadness, trying to cheer her up. There was never like it was just very casually, organically in conversation.
Like, that makes so much sense. That made me feel so much better. And you know what? I couldn't agree more with that theory.
Right.
That theory, I believe, very true.
So that happened. Shannon gets on with it. She starts talking to someone else. Fast forward several months later. That's when, and we never spoke of it again.
No.
I'm still the TikTok queen. She's still IG story ho. Fast forward a few months later, Shannon does a Q&A on her story.
I do Q&As on my story all the time.
And I had accidentally, you guys don't understand, I want to say one of the things that's important. When you're a content creator and you consume so much content, it really starts getting confusing when you hear things, whether, was that an original idea I had, or did I say that, or did I see that?
Subconsciously.
Or sometimes we all kind of say the same things.
You know what's crazy? Dating. A lot of people will be like, what's your favorite podcast? I go, I listen to podcasts sometimes if someone will send one to me. I try not to listen to too many because I'm stressed out that I might consume something and then like subconsciously say it on mine. And I would be bothered if
she's really good about being like, I don't listen to anything. That's kind of how I am about a lot of the stuff I've been making on YouTube and TikTok. Like I try not to watch exactly what someone else is doing because I don't want to start like thinking, oh, that's the only way you can do it and start mimicking it. So anyways, that's why I feel a little guilty because that's where I come into play.
You're not guilty. It's okay.
Because Shannon posts this on her story.
Okay.
Shannon.
If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll flash up the screenshot of it because I want to be very transparent about the whole thing. So this is October like 28th or something. On my questionnaire, someone asked, is sleeping with someone on the first day okay? My response in a text bubble says, I can't speak on sleeping with women, but as far as men are concerned, I think they put you in a box pretty early on. You're either someone they see something further than a one night stand with or not. Sleeping with them on the first date won't change your box. So that is her, right? I remember hearing that from Anna Grace, totally resonating with it, agreeing with it. That's where that. The next part.
That's where like that thought came from.
That's where that thought originated, right? I totally agreed with it, resonated with it, and I said it again. And then the rest of it is, as far as I know and am concerned, just coming out of my brain. I say, I used to think, because this is true. I totally used to think this about sleeping with people on the first date. I'd be like, if I don't sleep with them on the first date and hold out for like 3 weeks, then they'll like me more. That's just not fucking true.
Yeah.
That's why the box theory resonated with me so hard because it's true. It's not how men's small little, sorry if you're a man listening to this, it's not how small little fucking brains work.
Men are either looking to bae you up or not.
Well, they're all looking to fuck you, and it's whether or not after y'all fuck, they decide they want to be with you or not. It does not have to do with if you sleep with them on the first date. It just doesn't. Okay. So whoever says that she packaged it up nicely with a bow and a theory, and I totally resonate with it, but that's just like also facts.
Yeah.
Like that's just how men operate. So then I proceed to say, I used to think that holding out would make someone like you more, but honestly, I think it just further prolongs the end result of that box that you're already in my opinion. I view sex very intimately, but I also don't think that it's a deal breaker for shit on the front end. Do what you're comfortable with, but don't make it your chess piece to get a dude to like you. It's not going to work like that. Also, I don't know how to play chess, so that analogy could be off. Then I put another text box at the bottom that says, essentially what I'm saying is don't give up or withhold sex for any reason. Just do what feels right in the moment. Overthinking it always gets sticky. You start creating scenarios that aren't real, and the results of the relationship are always going to play out regardless of sex, because sex is not the most important part of a relationship. Okay. So whether you sleep with them on the first date, and I have so many friends that are married.
It's good advice.
Thank you. I thought it was too. I have friends that are married that are like, I slept with my husband on the first date. Okay?
I know. So
many people. So I agree. It's not a thing.
No.
So, okay.
So Shannon posts that because she started getting some DMs, and then she calls me at the mall.
I get, and I want to be completely clear. I get 2 DMs, but I check my DMs. If you DM me, unless it's like my birthday or something where I'm getting like inundated with a million, I look at my DMs, my message request, and I had seen 2. So because it was 2 in a row, and because Tinks is such an interesting name, they stuck out to me. And also one of them was mean. One of them was like, LOL, you totally stole this from Tinks. You should credit her. And I was like, huh? Tinks, what? And then
so she called me.
The next one just said like, I love Tinks box theory. Is that what this is from?
Okay.
And then I was like, twice I was like, who is Tinks? So thinking Anna Grace, I remember I had heard the theory from her. I call Anna Grace.
So she calls me and she's like, hey, this is like so weird. Do you know who Tinks is? I was like, yeah, oh my gosh, I love her. I follow her on TikTok. And Shannon's kind of like, okay, well, like, what's her Instagram handle? Because Shannon's like, I'll tag her because a lot of people are referencing this.
I felt embarrassed immediately.
People immediately were like, oh, that's the thing. And Shannon's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do that.
Immediately, I go, oh shit.
And I was kind of like, oh yeah, like that's what she said.
And so maybe that's why you feel guilty. But she goes, oh yeah, sorry, I should have told you. That's from Tinks. Yeah, go. And I go, well, I'll just go link it and say if you guys want to listen to the whole box series,
so
here it is.
Shannon's gonna list the whole box series because she did a good breakdown.
And
on her
look
TikTok.
at me. I was obviously gonna do that. Like
so Shannon, I start going, yeah, her Instagram handle is whatever it is.
It's me Tinks. Yeah.
So and so Shannon's like, weird. It keeps saying user not found.
User not found. So I was like,
and I'm like,
send me one of her posts. So she's DMs it to me. It says like not available. And I'm like, ooh. So then I go to my podcast page because I have a podcast. Follow at Probably the Podcast.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Plug. Shameless plug. And I go to that. She pops right up. I was like, oh, be damned.
And I'm literally like,
and my face gets red because I'm just so embarrassed. Like I'm just really embarrassed.
Shannon and I really are very supportive of
every content creator. Yeah, I just
because people steal our stuff. We get it.
It just happens in life, and I wouldn't even use the word stealing. Like life just happens, and we consume so much, and then we regress so much. Like we regurgitate it all, and it can just trends for a reason, and all these things just happen. So I'm just very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed, and I don't know what to do. I talk to Anna Grace. I basically decide
I turn into her PR person because keep in mind, like I've been following Tinks forever,
and she's like, I love her. She's like, you should reach out and apologize, and I go, I will. Oh, I will totally do that. Yes. I'll totally do that. And I go, I should do that, right? And she goes, I go, is that weird? She goes, she blocked you. I think you should reach out. I go, I'm going to reach out.
I was like, maybe just like cleared up that it was totally a misunderstanding.
And here's the thing. I am such a proponent of being like, fuck that. They're fucking dumb. They want to do this. This was not a moment like that. I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Let me make sure she knows that.
And Shannon's got a place in New York. We're all going to be.
Yeah. We have a lot of mutual. I immediately was like, oh my God, she knows this friend of mine, this friend of mine, this friend of mine. I stopped myself from asking any or telling any of them. Like I felt like awkward. So I was like, I'm just going to message her how I would talk to anybody else, like a friend.
Right.
So I sent her a DM from my podcast page. If you're watching on YouTube, we will post it right now. I send her a message on my podcast page and I say, hi, it's Shannon Ford. I'm messaging from my podcast page and just wanted to reach out because I got some DMs saying that I should credit Tinks for the box analogy that I referenced on an Instagram question I did. And I truly did not realize it was your content. And had I known, I would always credit another creator for their work. One of my friends told me about the box analogy / theory a while ago, and I so strongly resonated with it, but I never actually saw the content myself. So I didn't make the connection, which is true.
It was my fault.
No, it's not your fault. I said, so I didn't make the connection that it came from you. Today, when I got a couple DMs, I was like, oh, damn, this must be the podcast. Also, I said podcast. It's a TikTok.
Shannon really was so clueless.
Okay. So I said,
like, your podcast.
I said, this must be the podcast this originated from. Let me go credit her. But then I realized that you had blocked me. I just wanted to apologize because that is not the way that I move or operate in this space at all. I totally get being frustrated with someone for not giving credit where credit's due, but I want you to know that there was no malice or intentional discredit of you and your work from my end at all. It really was an innocent mistake. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and sorry again for any frustration this caused because I would probably feel the same way. I always give credit and would still love to link the full, I said podcast again. I would still love to link, damn it. I really didn't know.
She's like,
I said I would still love to link the full podcast that you break this theory down on because I obviously so strongly agree with it.
Right.
Okay, I send that. Now here's where maybe my Southern came in a little bit because then I sent her a voicemail. I'll play it. You know what?
Because also yeah, I'm like, Shannon, we gotta fix this.
And I just felt awkward and bad. So I also sent her a 20-second voice memo. And I think putting your voice and stuff, it makes...
Well, because sometimes you don't know if someone's texting you. Are they mad? Are they being bitchy? Are they being passive aggressive?
I read that
was very
DM
kind.
just now to you guys in my voice. But who knows if Tinks read that in a different voice because texting is difficult. So I thought, let me give her my voice. Okay.
Let me send a voice memo.
Okay, I actually haven't listened to this since October 29th.
I'm like
21. I know, I am kind of too. My face is kind of red. Okay, here is the audio message I sent. Again, probably doing a little too much here, but whatever.
I also saw that we have some mutual friends in, I guess, like the industry or life in general, overall. And I promise if you ask them about me, they'd be like, oh my God, no, she's not a raging twat. She's not like that. So I really am genuinely sorry. I like to send voice notes so people know that I am indeed not a terrible person. But I really am sorry that it was perceived that way. I never ever want anyone to think that.
Okay, so that's what I said, and I wholeheartedly meant that. We have a lot of
Shannon
mutual
and I
friends.
literally, we really did we were very thoughtful. I was helping her craft.
Yeah,
this.
and you know what? Here's the thing, and this is the truth of the matter. After I sent that, I felt way better about it, and I never heard from her. She never addressed it. She never messaged me back. She totally acted like it didn't happen, and I know because she says often that she looks at all of her DMs. It is a giant picture of me in a rainbow dress that says Shannon Ford, probably podcast. So like, here's the thing. Can I 100% assume she saw it? No. Could she totally come out and be like, I never got that message, never saw it? She could say that. I just don't believe that to be true.
Well,
I think she just chose to ignore it. But like, I don't know. I guess I was just so apologetic and so genuine that it's not that it bummed me out because I'm actually not bummed about it. I just was like, yeah, that's how she wants to respond to it.
Well, it kind of bummed me out because I always loved her so much.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I just have always heard such great things about it. It just kind of, it bummed me out because I was like, I guess it did bum me out. Yeah, because I was just like, it's just a bummer that I went out of my way to just really genuinely express to her that like this was such a sincere accident. And I know a lot of people who would have been like, fuck her, she blocked you, who gives a fuck? And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to really let her know where my head was at here.
Because
I assumed we'd run into her one day.
And then I just knew, I was like, I swear, Tweedledee and Tweedleding, we're going to be together when it happens. And let me tell you what, we were in a random neighborhood, literally a blip in our trip. We were just passing by a restaurant. Shannon and I are just in our own little worlds. We're not even looking around. And we were with two other friends who were very kind and lovely. And one of them says like, I guess it was, she said, hey, and we
Someone
all
said,
stopped.
hey, and
we all stopped because we weren't paying
oh,
attention.
She knows someone here.
She has a friend here. And she turns around and literally turns around and looks at me and it's Tinks. And I'm like,
But in such an intimate setting, like not like at
So
Coachella,
intimate,
not like
small,
at an event
quiet.
in New York. It was like no one else was at this really outdoor restaurant but her and us
literally
walking by.
and also it was so out of context for me. I was like shook. Like she turned around and like stared me in the eyeballs and I was like, I just started smiling like a buffoon because I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna kill her with kindness. What? Like,
well, that's what we always do, anyways. Yeah.
Then part of me was like, there's no way she even knows who we are, but she definitely did. Because
you think she did?
Well, she definitely there was.
Well, she definitely gave us the cold shoulder.
And Shannon's going, okay, let me give the breakdown. So there's one kind, beautiful friend to the left, me, Shannon, another kind, beautiful friend to the right, and she says hi to the friend on the left. The friend's like, this is Anna Grace and Shannon. She really just didn't acknowledge us at all.
I'm not sure if she even said anything back to that.
I don't think she said anything. Like,
I think she just said hi. I think she just said hi, and then
nothing.
she started just like,
and then started talking to the other, like skipped over us, and then started talking to the other friend to our right. So we were, and I'm just smiling. I'm just smiling at everyone.
And I'm just listening.
Her and her whole PR team
like,
were just like, I'm just standing there. And then Shannon walks away and Shannon always goes, do you think that people recognize me? I'm like, Shannon, you are literally, she walked away like the similar time when the freaking, I said dove earlier, pigeon hit her in the face.
Yeah.
And she didn't react. And I looked at her did a pigeon just hit you in the face or am I hallucinating?
The friend that we were with also knows that this girl is blocked me, knows the story. And so we walk away, and as soon as we get far enough away that's like appropriate, Anna Grace and her go, and I go,
I'm shook. I'm just like,
I was like, it's fine. I was like, that's the best case scenario. She wasn't like, no one's
Shannon's like, I don't think she knew it was me. And I'm like,
what are we gonna do? Throw bows? Square up? No. Obviously, we were both just gonna be like, hi, how are you? But like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And here's the thing. I'll say this much. You guys, it was almost as if as soon as she blocked me, which again, this all happened last October. She's really blown up in the last 6 months.
I would say in the last few months, people have really, because of the New York connection.
Yeah, and people all post like, who should have my podcast? And you guys are like, Tinks. And now it's always like, not comical, but it's kind of comical. Like every time I'm like, good. There have been so many times during the questionnaire that I'm like, who should I have my podcast? That I've been so close to posting, like, can't, she blocked me, like with a thumbs up. But then I'm like, I don't, again, my Instagram is my Instagram. This podcast is like more of my, like, I feel like my safe space. And I feel like if you're listening to this podcast and you get all the way through an hour or whatever, you actually are here, you're riding with me, or you're fucking with me. So I'm going to give you guys that tea. It's a big bummer.
Yeah,
it's
not
a bummer.
Talk about it on Instagram. We would never.
Yeah. And I'm not here to like, you know,
well, we're not trying to bully her or
absolutely
anything. Like,
God, you read the message, couldn't be less. And I don't want this story. I was like groveling. Like
we were like begging.
Me, like, a groveler.
I enjoyed her content, but now I'm just like, she's like, fuck you, Anna Grace. I'm like, I was a fan before.
Don't meet your heroes, kids. No,
don't meet your heroes.
No, you'll get blocked by your heroes. No, I don't also, the last thing I want this to come across as is like, I didn't know who she was, but like, here's the fact of the matter. Like, I just didn't.
I know you didn't because I'm your best friend.
I didn't consume her content that way.
Well, now you don't consume TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, you don't know who Tinks is really. I mean, now you would.
She blew up. Yeah, totally from this last October. And I'm sure she has great content. I'm sure that, I don't know what I did to trigger the block. I guess I do know, but I don't know really where her headspace was at there. She could come out and say, my fucking assistant did that. I don't know who you are, you little redheaded twat. But I also don't believe that.
She was kind of mean to us in person.
She just was very dismissive. Yeah.
I mean, she acted like we weren't there, so I don't know.
She talked through us. It's, you know, it's fine. It's all Gucci, baby. It's all gravy, baby. Here's the crazy thing though. You think in like this world, like I've been blocked by like people before in my life.
Shannon's got blocked by really random people.
I get blocked by really random people. You know who else has me blocked? Jeff Dye. How funny is that?
Like, you're like, for what?
I don't know, dude. I'll never forget one day someone was talking. I think it was like, you know, he and we all follow E! News. He and Kristen Cavallari were, you know, had a brief dating stint. And then I know for a fact, because E! News also reported on them not being together anymore. And Nashville's a small town. I think I just knew that they really had just had a little fling or whatever. I'll never forget me, a comedy queen, love comedy. Goes
to comedy shows.
Goes to comedy shows by herself in random cities because I love comedy so much. So someone would ask me, I think, like, didn't Kristen talk to a comedian for a little bit? And I go, yeah, Jeff, or I couldn't remember his last name. So I was like, Jeff. And then I was like, let me look him up on Instagram. And I was like, weird. It's not coming up. Then I was like, looking at it and I was like, weird. It's not coming up. And I go, I'll be damned. I go to my podcast page.
No.
And I go, shut the fuck up. Jeff Dye blocked me? Like, why?
Why did I ever do you, Jeff? Keep in mind, the people that have blocked
why
you,
was I
we've never met.
But also, Jeff Dye, why am I blocked? Honestly, I want to know. Like, why am I blocked? It was so weird. I don't know. I'm going to actually check right now.
I'm actually like laughing too because like if someone unfollowed me or blocked me, I know we've said this on here before, I would just like literally never know. I would absolutely never know.
Okay, we're going to see if I'm still blocked. I can't imagine he's going through his block list and unblocking people, but let's just make sure for this airs. Am I still blocked? Is she still blocked? Yep, Jeff Dye. I don't know what I ever did, but I'm sorry, and I think you're hilarious. So really like your work. Again, it's always the people who I really enjoy their work. Big fan.
Big fan blocked.
Big fan blocked. You know what I gotta stop doing? I gotta stop saying I'm fans people. Blocked.
They're like, we don't want your fandom.
I'm like, I love Shannon Tatum. He's like, blocked.
Well, anyway, so that happened. I was shook. Shannon just like sort of walked away. Yeah, like the pigeon hit her in the face, and she just kept walking.
Because here's the thing. I knew I had done all the right things.
Right. Yeah,
I know 100% in my soul, and this is what I do in life, in Instagram, all these articles that come out, whatever, that people talk shit about me. I lay my little redheaded head down to sleep at night, and I know that I'm a good person, and I know in that situation, I did exactly what I would hope someone did for me had I been like upset by that situation or thought someone was like copying my content. I did exactly what I think you should do, voice memo included. So I walked away unfazed because I'm like, that is her own burden and situation. That's not me. That's a her thing now. It's not a me thing. I did the right thing, so I don't feel faced by it. I'm just telling you guys a story because honestly, it's good. It makes for good content. It's good. It's interesting. It's interesting.
It's interesting to me.
And stop tagging her in my stuff. We wore the same shirt to Coachella. Everyone tagged her.
that was like, I'm like, you're fucking me right now.
That was the quintessential. That was so funny because again, we ran into her the day before Coachella, and then Coachella happens, and the very first day I wear this beaded butterfly top, and she wears the same top, and everyone tags because you can tag her, but I can't click on her, right? So I had upwards of like 15 comments that are like, yes, are my two favorites, like wearing the same top, like Tinks and Shannon wearing the same tops, and I was like,
you're like, you know what's funny too? Like I do feel like there's like people like that I've had beef with before in life, and like we like weirdly end up being friends. It's like it's always the people like that you beef with that you like.
I'm open to the opportunity.
You could like.
I have no qualms.
That would be great. We
have the same style. We have the same. We have the same demographic of fans.
Maybe that's why she was
open to the opportunity. Holler at your girl. Honestly, again, was a fan.
Was a fan.
Was a fan. Was a fan of your work.
So.
Not able to currently see the work because I'm blocked. That's it.
So the emotional roller coaster, the pendulum swung. It swings. We run into her. We go to Revolve Fest. Everyone was asking. We touched on the Fire Fest thing. I would like to talk about our actual Shannon and I's first experience at Coachella together.
Yes. Here's what we did first and foremost. We took a lot of photos. Okay, we got famished. I said I want to go to In-N-Out. Let's go to In-N-Out. Poor Annie Grace.
This is the day. We're like headed into the festival like in an hour and a half.
And I say, I want to go to In-N-Out.
She drives me like 40 minutes out of the way to take
I don't know why, but it was far away. I said, I thought this was a lot closer. It's not. But we drove 20 minutes to In-N-Out. I never had it before. I really wanted to try it.
Also, I just want to say, I posted this on TikTok and it went viral. I'd never been to In-N-Out before. I thought it was really cool. Took a lot of pictures there. Like acted like a tourist.
Everyone does that at In-N-Out.
Everyone does it at In-N-Out.
Why else would they give you the hats?
I wake up, the last time I'm at Coachella, this was literally the last time I was there before the pandemic. I wake up, Cody Co roast video.
Who's Cody Co?
I don't.
God damn, he's going to block me.
Watch out! Watch out! He's just a big YouTuber and he does these roast videos and he roasts influencers.
That's kind of an honor.
No, people are such fans of him. They're like, I will be roasted for him to just tear this ass apart. I'm like,
see, that's cool. Like if someone's whole job is to roast someone, it's kind of an honor. And Grace is crying. Everyone's like, what an honor. You're like,
I'm like, I just thought it was really cool. I'm from Tennessee. We don't have In-N-Out.
We don't have it here. So anyways, we go to In-N-Out. And I misorder. I had heard of, now I know it's called Monster Style or something.
She wanted to order a burger and add chili. This bitch is about to go into Coachella and order a chili burger.
And I'm like going in
a burger with chili.
I said, I want that kind and make it with like the chili on it. And Anna Grace goes, bitch, you got me so fucked up. And I go, I just really, and she goes, if you were constipated before, you won't be now. And I was like, I just really
want to go. Was drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Eating chili fries.
Yeah. Ew, there was a man that I saw walk away with a coffee and chili fries. I said, that is dark.
Shannon was so upset this guy was drinking coffee.
Hot coffee, not iced.
Brought it up to me 3 times.
3 times while we were there. I said, look at him. He had a hot latte.
So I'm like, I'm eating my French fries. I'm like, whatever. Shannon bites into her burger and she's like,
well, I'm pissed at first because I ordered 2 burgers.
Sure.
I'm a hungry girl. I'm a growing girl. I ordered 2 burgers because I want one with chili and one without chili, just in case the chili was too much and I wanted just a bite of it, right?
And we have the ulcer thing going on.
Also, guys, it's not pretty to watch me eat at this moment. I'm literally like having a baby burn myself.
I'm chewing it up and spitting it.
she's Nutrijet blending it and like strawing it into my mouth. So I'm literally like, I go, oh man, they didn't put chili on my burger. And she goes, that's God.
I said, that's the universe protecting
you, your boof hole.
Yeah, protecting
And I said, okay. I said, that's true. So anyways, I eat the second burger. I take a bite. I go, whoa, shit. It's hot as fuck. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, I don't know. I think they put a different sauce on here. She goes, it looks like the same sauce. I go, I don't know. I take another bite. I love spicy stuff. I put hot sauce on everything.
She's
my
sweating.
My mom's from Louisiana. I got Cajun in my blood, baby. I'm a Cajun girl, like deep in there, right? Grew up in South Carolina, but like I be loving spice. Okay. I was like, shit, no, I be
something right. Something right.
And she goes, open the burger. I opened it. I go, what are these little things in here?
Ghost peppers.
Dead ass, dude. Dead ass. Ghost peppers felt like what it was. And they're so little and Sprite. And I go, what are these? And then it hit me. I go, oh, chilies.
So this is she's got a chili burger.
I go, they have put actual chili peppers on my burger.
Chili peppers. That could have been clarified.
And
Once again,
I think
signage.
I think they should put more signs in LA in general. LA should be very clear about more things.
There was a lot of confusion.
There's a lot of blurred lines in LA, and I'm just a bit confused by it all. Okay.
Well, and I want you guys to know that this was our last meal that we had until we got back to the room at 3 a.m.
Yep.
After an absolute spiritual, mental, physical, emotional journey that Shan and I both went on. Completely 2 separate journeys.
2 separate journeys.
But they were running parallel at the same time.
Here's the thing about me. if there's a drug, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. And I
Here's
don't
the thing
have
about me. If there was a drug before, I would do it until I have a heart problem.
Till trip of a lifetime. If you ever want to giggle,
trip of a lifetime was my last. Yeah, please y'all run that back.
Run back episode 3 from season 1, trip of a lifetime. Honestly, like I still one person. I'm not even trying to get dark here. One person told me that her father passed away, and the only thing that got her to laugh for the first time was listening to Trip of a Lifetime. So in a way that's like really kind, but also like that episode is just like, it's choice. It's good. And it focuses on Anna Grace's mushroom journey.
I thought mushrooms, since they were like from the earth, was the last drug that I could do. And then I did them. It was an absolute nightmare. But anything else or with the heart rate, I have a problem. But
I personally, I do not have
still support Shannon.
Thank you so much. I do not have an addictive personality.
No.
I don't, which is crazy because I'll be doing a lot of stuff, but like here's the thing about like human beings, we're pretty complex, and for me, I can try really anything, and I'm just like, did meth.
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast. It's
not
also on
to
it.
I'm not sure how easy it would be to get my hands on here, so maybe that
we don't
comes
have
into
any
play.
plugs.
No meth plug.
You and I are just Enneagram 7s. We're spontaneous. We're impulsive, and we're curious.
We're curious, but I don't. Luckily for me, because I know a lot of people struggle with addiction, I do not have an addictive personality.
Right.
So I'm down to try things.
We're also pretty moderately always in control. And if you guys don't believe us, we're like always. If you ever ran into some public, we'd be pretty pulled together.
Name one person. One person listening to this cannot say they've ever run into me on Broadway, anything. Which, by the way, if I'm on Broadway, I am fucking shithouse schmammered. You've never thought I was drunk because I just don't. I mean, I told you this is a running thing that I talk about where people literally will hand me someone else's keys and be like, "Get Jessica home safe," and I'm like, "The fuck I look like get on Jessica home safe." I'm drunk as fuck, but I just do not act drunk or intoxicated or anything when I'm on drugs or alcohol. I don't know. I just have the control. I don't know. I'm a fucking superstar. So
she's built different.
I'm built different.
She's built different.
So yeah. So anyways, I say to myself, I want to do ecstasy. I want to do that. Anna Grace says to me, I will absolutely not be doing that.
I'm like, here's the thing. I barely recovered from the mushrooms.
She actually says, maybe you don't do it because I'm going to be with you, and it's hard when we're not on the same journey. I say,
yeah, so I'm like, I'm kind of like I want to, but I'm also just like, we're also in the desert. I'm dehydrated. There's a lot of factors.
Yeah,
heart condition.
So
my legs are falling asleep all weekend.
Yeah, that was so weird. You need to get that checked out. Her legs, she's got something's wrong.
I gotta go to the doctor. Anyways,
so she's always at the doctor. So there's a lot of ailments. So anyways, yeah, I do it. And I'm like, I tell her.
So we get into Coachella and it's like it's kind of dead. We're by ourselves. And Shannon's like, we either need to crank it up or crank it home.
Here's the thing. The logistics of getting into Coachella are just a goddamn nightmare. I
don't like it. Hell?
Why do people go to Coachella?
You ride a buggy 6 miles in.
You got to walk like 6 miles into the desert. It's like the juice is not worth the squeeze.
It's tough.
So honestly, that's another reason
Even if you love music, I love music fest, but like I've been to good festivals and that one's it's so spread.
It's so hard. Here's the thing too. That's another point to make about Revolve. Revolve has like air conditioned shuttles that take you straight to the festival. Coachella, I get it, it's a part of the thing, and maybe I'm just not like a music head. Like people are like, Coachella's turned into a fashion show. It has, and I was there for the fashion show. I like watching Meg Thee Stallion. That was
great.
Again, I was on ecstasy, so it was a different experience for me. But like that was incredible. Like I loved it.
So we're having a moment of truth. You know that moment where you look at your friend and you're like, are we gonna push through this? Take ecstasy?
We had just been
or go home.
We are always on the same page. This is why it's the best. Anna Grace and Taylor are my best friends because we are always on the same page. We always want to do the right thing. We always want to do the same thing.
Right.
And I say, when we get here, if we are miserable, we'll just leave. She goes, cool. So I get there and I look at her and I'm honestly, it's not that we're miserable. We just hadn't run into our fun friends yet.
We had been drunk, but we were kind of like getting
We're coming
sober.
down. You're walking in the desert. You're dehydrated. You're like trying to like rally and be fun, but like it's a little bit early. So the best acts haven't come on yet. Mm-hmm. You're just like, kind of like mulling around like, okay, we have two options. We go home. We already have our photos for Revolve, so we can go home and go sleep, which we did do the very next day, by the way. We're capable of doing that. Or do we traveled all this way, we're at Coachella, do we turn it up and do we have some fun? I said yes. I said, I'm going to do ecstasy. She said, okay, if you do ecstasy, I'm going to fucking have to boof 3 energy drinks. Anna Grace on the no drug journey.
Oh, I'm literally
which I love that for her. I do. We're
Shannon has seen enough scares that she's like, all right, so we're not going to do that.
Here's what I don't want her to do. Die from heart palpitations. So I have the heart of an ox. Okay.
She's strong.
She's a strong
So
girl.
I'm like, I'm going to just go ahead and literally shotgun 3 Celsius and then followed by some
which those
tequila.
do send you to space.
I was yeeted.
She was like, are you going to do this right now? And I said, yeah. She goes, I'm going to have a Red Bull and 3 Celsius to the dome right now.
To the dome,
said, okay.
Because she was about to go up and I was on a downward path.
I said, you got to go up with me. Okay.
So we're like, let's go up.
And I've never taken ecstasy before. So we go into the porta potty. I look at her. She's 2 Celsius deep. She goes, I got to get in this before you. I'm like, okay, get in there. So she's 2 Celsius deep. I take a sip of her Celsius down the little
doing
pill.
All this in the porta potty.
We're in a porta potty. Okay. Also, there's like very fancy porta potties. We got like the shitty one because we were like, we don't want anyone to see us. Me, I'm like, I'm not like, it's weird because I'm not like condoning drug usage, but like, do what you feel comfortable with. That's all I'll say about my disclaimer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to make it seem cool to do drugs, but personally, me, I wanted to do this drug. So
She's never done it before.
So I'd never done it before. So I do it. I will say I took half of it. I'm very good about like, I'm not going to yoke something that I was like, if I don't feel this, I'll take more later. But I took half. So to be clear, I took half of one and it was delightful. So I take this ecstasy. It does not kick in. It doesn't.
And we had a friend before be like, that was also taking it that was like, I'm not going to leave your side.
And it's interesting because we had a friend who we were with that day.
Earlier in Revolve Festival.
And earlier had told us that she had done it before. And I was like, oh, really? I think I'm going to do it. What's it like? And she goes, you're not going to like, if I took it right now, I wouldn't leave your side. And I was like,
interesting.
I just didn't understand I didn't really understand what she was saying. She was like, if I took that right now, like I would be glued to you guys. And I was like,
and me, I'm like, physical touch. I love that.
She's like, love to be touched. I was like, huh.
We can all link arms.
Now this is an interesting thing that I'll break down. I've heard about ecstasy before 100 times, right? I always hear you want to touch people. I hear
I do hear that sex is really
good. I hear you're horny as fuck, right? Like you're just like so horny. No. I hear that. That's what I hear. So I just hear
like,
that these are the things that I hear about ecstasy. These are my myths or what I've been told about ecstasy. You want to touch everything. Like you're like, ooh, flowers. Touch feels so good. You're like, okay. And I'm scared. Only thing I'm scared about, I tell Andy Grace, I go, if I start doing anything fucking weird, like start touching people's hair or something, like don't fucking let me do that. Okay. Like don't let me touch anyone that's not supposed to be touched. She's like, I'll make sure you don't touch anyone. So she boofs the Celsius drinks. I take the ecstasy. And then we find our friends. It was perfect timing. We find a big group of friends, right? A big group of friends who have done no drugs. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm the only one that did a drug.
Shannon's the only person that's done drugs.
And just to be clear, I did not tell anyone. I'm not the girl that walks up and is like, I did ecstasy. So like, I didn't tell anyone I did it.
And we did see some people that walked up to us, so we were like, they look crazy.
Well, here's the thing at Coachella, everyone's doing drugs. I don't know what kind of drugs, but I'm just, again, I don't act like I'm on drugs when I'm on drugs. So I'm also just not going to vocalize to anyone. I'm not going to be the weird girl that like disclaims the drugs she's on. So we find all our friends.
And at this point, I have eaten nothing except for a random niblet from In-N-Out. I'm like,
well, here's the thing. I took her to In-N-Out. There's not a vegetarian option. So she just ate
like,
some
they
fries.
have an Impossible Burger.
I had 2 burgers and one with chilies and she had a couple fries.
Yeah.
I'm full as a tick. I'm like, I'm not hungry.
I'm full as a tick. So Shannon, I'm like, Shannon, I'm gonna go grab a fry, and she's cool as a cucumber. She's totally fine.
She's checking in on me. I'm with all of our friends, really good friends, and honestly, like
we're really close with them.
We're really close with them, and Anna Grace does keep doing small little quiet check-ins, like, you good? I go, yeah, and I don't think anything's hit me yet. She's like, cool. And then I actually wonder, maybe it is hitting me, but I'm just like really taking it like a champ, and I'm just like, because I'm definitely like just like mellow, like I'm fine. I'm just like talking to my friends, whatever. It is like a fucking movie, man. It's like a movie.
I'm like, Shannon, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab some. All I could eat was more fucking fries.
She goes with 2 of her friends. I want to go grab some food.
2 friends. We left.
She says to me, "I'm gonna go grab food." I go, "I'm not hungry. I'm good." Because here's the thing. I wasn't by she didn't leave me by myself. She left me with this group of LA friends, but our really good friends left with her.
And Shannon put her phone in my purse.
Here's the thing about me. I didn't bring a purse in, and I said, "Why would I ever leave Anna Grace while I'm here? Can you hold my phone?" She said, "Not a problem. I'll hold your phone." I said, "That's perfect." So she leaves to go get food, but we're in this like VIP area where it's not big, but guys, it's not small. It's not small, and there's thousands. We're not at Revolve Festival. We're at Coachella. There are thousands and thousands of people. In even just the VIP, thousands and thousands, right? And like, here's the thing, like, love you, unique, beautiful, stunning. Everyone kind of looks the same at Coachella, okay? They just do. So she leaves, and I'm not stressed out about it at all. I'm like, she's going to get a hot dog quesadilla, whatever the fuck she's going to go get, and she's going to be back. So I'm just chilling, right?
And here's the thing, I really wasn't gone that long.
Okay, so how long do you think you were gone?
17 minutes.
Okay, that's fair. That actually checks out. Okay, so she leaves. It is like, and I'm not just saying this for content, for humor. I even thought in my head, this feels made up, dude. She walks away. It's like as soon as her little blonde doodop head leaves, I feel the drug. I go, oh no. But I'm trying to tell myself, you've done drugs before. Don't freak yourself out. You're on a drug. This will be fun. But all I can think is, holy fucking shit, this bitch just left with my phone. The drugs have just kicked in because I've never taken this drug before. So I'm not worried. Here's the thing. And I told Anna Grace this. I was never one time stressed out that she wasn't going to come find me. I know Anna Grace. She's not. First of all, she's not on drugs. Second of all,
you were on drugs.
She's just like not gonna be like, I couldn't find you, so I just went down and listened to music, and then we took an Uber home. Like, she's not gonna do that. So I was never, which is like, that's a testimony to like go with people that you trust and are safe. I would never do drugs around someone I didn't feel safe around. Okay,
Right.
So I was never stressed out. I was never like, I'm not gonna find her. I just thought, oh fuck, I'm gonna touch someone's hair I'm not supposed to, and I don't have Anna Grace here to be like, don't touch her hair. Okay,
I'm gonna do something weird.
Don't touch her hair. So I was like, fuck. So I'm literally, I feel it. It's like a wave. It's not a harsh wave. It's kind of a beautiful wave, but this wave
I can't.
crashes onto me and I go, oh, the ecstasy is hit. I was like, okay. So I'm like, all right. We're just gonna
Shannon's
ride this
pupils
wave.
the size of a
I mean,
dime.
anyone that saw me was certainly not thinking anything, but like if someone did look into my eyes, they're probably like, bitch. So this guy, it's a group. Like I said, Anna Grace left with our really good friends, and then I was there, and this like girlfriend's boyfriend. I don't know the girl. I met the girl that day, and then the boyfriend. He sees me, and he was probably just trying to be super nice because he just saw all my friends just left.
Shannon's in the middle of rolling.
I'm rolling dick balls, and I don't know, I didn't know that was the term, but that is the term. She's rolling, so I'm like rolling. The rolling starts, and he comes over to me. He's like, hey, and I'm like hey, and he's like, okay, so you're from, everyone's saying y'all are from Nashville. I'm like, Nashville, Tennessee. And he's like, cool. He's like, oh my God, do you know? And again, he's talking to me, but I have an inner dialogue that's like, don't freak out. You know you're on drugs. Don't freak out. You're on drugs, and that's okay. You know you're on drugs. Don't freak out. Your friends are gone. They have your phone. You have no means of communication to anyone, but don't freak out. You're on drugs, and you know you took the drugs. You took the drugs. You wanted to be on the drugs. Don't freak out. And he's like, Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm like, Nashville, Tennessee. That's what's like coming out of my mouth. My brain is doing all that, right?
Your brain's like,
and so I was like, cool. He's like, Nashville. I'm like, Nashville. He's like, you ever go to Jenny's Ice Cream? I was like, I love Jenny's Ice Cream. He's like, yeah, me and my girlfriend. And I'm overanalyzing everything he's saying. I'm like, Jenny's Ice Cream. Why are we talking about Jenny's Ice Cream? He starts talking so in depth about Jenny's Ice Cream. He's like, what's your you know what's crazy? Me and my girlfriend. Then he pulls his girlfriend over. He's like, she loves Jenny's Ice Cream too. And then I was like, am I making this up? Like, are they having this? Am I getting hyperfixated on something, or like, are they getting hyperfixated on something? Because why are we talking about Jenny's Ice Cream?
Shannon's like, isn't it a chain?
Also, just super quick, like, there are a lot of cool things in Nashville, Tennessee. Like, why are we talking about Jenny's Ice Cream? Like, all these thoughts are racing through my mind. And again, yeah, it's a chain. So like a very global chain. So I was just like, okay. I go, yeah, I love Jenny's Ice Cream. He's like, what's your favorite flavor? I said, I'll hit you with it. It's kind of weird. Goat cheese, red berries. He goes, oh, that is weird, but I love that flavor. I was like, right. And I don't think he thought I was like hiring.
The specificity of you guys, you got into the listeria outbreak.
Yeah, I said, here's my question. You go to the Jenny's in LA? He said, yeah, we go to the Jenny's in other places. I don't know if it was LA or wherever. I asked. I said, where are you from? He said, yeah. I said, crazy. I got really into Jenny's ice cream when I first moved here because I'm from a small town, South Carolina. Then they had a listeria outbreak. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. If you don't know what listeria is, I didn't either. It's something like close to mad cow disease, but it's not. But nobody can have it. So they had to pull all the Jenny's ice cream off the shelves, and all of our places, all of our Jenny's in Nashville shut down. He's like, whoa. I'm like, whoa.
So Shannon's rolling, and she's going through the history of
Honestly, Jenny's hiring me because I know a lot about your company. I was like, I think it was a localized outbreak in Nashville. We got it back.
It's the problem's been solved.
A few months later. He's like, cool. I do immediately though. It's like we're done having that conversation, and I was like, ooh, need to find my friend. Like, and I was just like, but I'm not weird about it. I'm not freaking out about it. I see the only other really, really good friend that I know very well, because it's a big group of people. I see my one friend, and I'm like, all of a sudden, what that other girl said made sense.
Like, I can't leave you.
I didn't want to touch her. I didn't want to rub her. I never touched anyone's hair. Congrats to me.
You did great.
And anyone else. So I do understand that it's not that I wanted to touch or rub anyone. I physically needed to make sure, and I can't express to you how much I was not freaked out. I never one time was like, oh, I gotta find. I just was like, that is my mark. I'm a fucking sniper and I'm not leaving her arm. And we walked and she goes, I go, here's the thing. I go, Anna Grace has my phone. She goes, oh no. I go, it's okay. She'll find us again. I have super red hair. That day I had a bun on my head. I was like, it's a beacon of light. She's gonna find us. And she goes, well, I'm kind of hungry. Should we get food? Now I'm like, the only thing I say is, well, now we're leaving this station that she knows where to find us at, but I'll go with you. But here's the thing, and I'm sorry if this is weird, I just can't let go of your arm, okay? And she goes, yeah, no. And she's like, super, she's like, yeah, no, hold my arm. And I'm like, cool. But I'm really not gonna let go of it, okay?
All of a sudden just like,
I'm not gonna let go of it, okay? And she's like, yeah, you're fine.
She's got like a parrot on her shoulder.
Did not let go of her arm. She's walking. She's like, perfect. We're gonna go over here. I was like, perfect. I'm like, perfect. And then perfect. And so perfect. TikTok. So we walk. She goes and gets food. We're having great conversations. I think I tell her about funny guy. I'm like, she's like, you talking to anyone new? I'm like, not really. Kind of chatting with this guy. He's so funny. She's like, tell me about him. So having a great time. I'm feeling the high. I'm like, this high is fun. I'm happy. I feel happy, right? But I'm also like, where is my friend and phone? And then I'm like walking, and she goes, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, that's not really the home base that we're meeting all of our friends out, but I'll go to the bathroom with you, but I'm gonna have to hold your arm. She's like, perfect. So it's a porta potty. We don't go to the fancy ones because fancy ones that they have there like are long line. Yeah. She goes to porta potty. I go, hey, I'm gonna stand with my back to the porta potty so that nobody gets in. She goes, oh, you're good. They lock. And I go, that's okay. I'm gonna stand with my back to the door so nobody can get in, okay? But really all I just needed was a touch point to not leave her, okay? I was just like, can't leave her.
You're like, I'm gonna just go ahead and put my back to
I'm gonna put my back. So she goes, oh, okay. She's like, thank you. That way no one can bust in. I'm like, perfect. I put my back to the porta potty. I'm like, I'm people watching. I'm like living my life.
All of a sudden, Shannon's got like brass knuckles.
I'm like, cool. I'm happy. I'm like, shit, I'm fucking happy. This is fun. I am happy. And then I feel someone trying to push out of the porta potty. I was like, not on my watch. Fucking yank the porta potty door back. I was like, got you. And then I was like, nobody's getting into this porta potty. And it was her trying to exit the porta potty. And she pushes it again really hard. Strong girl, by the way. She pushes it really hard. And she goes, Shannon. And I go, oh. I go, oh my God, I'm sorry. I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was not paying attention. And I thought someone was trying to get out. And she goes, okay, cool. Let's go back to the general store, which is like home base.
She was so like, whatever.
I go, cool. And so meanwhile, I'm taking her phone because she's the only person that has Anna Grace's phone number. And I'm taking her phone and I've called Anna Grace. Again, I don't know how to explain to you guys, but I'm not like, Anna Grace, answer. I just keep going, call Anna Grace. And it doesn't answer. And I go, okay. Call Anna Grace.
Also, you guys, I'm also on a Celsius journey.
Yeah, she's yeeted. Let's not discredit. Anna Grace is still yeeted just on like, recreational energy drinks. Okay. Like
I really was though. That stuff be hitting.
So it's like, I mean, she didn't take an Adderall, but let's just say like 5 energy drinks later, it almost feels prescribed. Okay. So this is why we have notes for this podcast. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's not that I don't remember. It's not that I blacked out. It's just that like I was just rolling and I was on this journey, and Anna Grace was so hyper focused, vigilant that I would do something funny. Or when we finally met up, so I call her 5 times, she doesn't answer. I finally go to the friend that I'm not leaving her arm and apparently not allowing her out of a porta potty. I say, can we just station back at that other place? Because that's probably where they'll find us. And she goes, yeah, let's do that. Anna Grace walks up. She goes, there she is. I go, there she is. Walk up to her. I go, hey. She goes, hi. Okay, perfect. We got food. We feel way better. I go, you have my phone. She goes, oh my God. I go, open your phone. She opens her phone, sees our friend's name 6 times, called her. She goes, and then she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to stress you out. How are you feeling? Is everything okay?
I was like, what happened? Shannon just like,
I go, I'm fine, but I would like to just personally tell you right now, the drugs have hit. The drugs actually hit the millisecond you walked away. And she's like, oh no, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, the journey was fine. I feel good. Just chatted about funny guy, got a quesadilla, didn't let her out of a porta potty, and I'm fine. But anyways, I'm telling Anna Grace all of this, and she's like scribing it all down because she's like, this is hilarious. We gotta say this for the podcast.
I'm literally like, oh my God, you're killing me.
And I'm like, don't worry, I won't forget. I read the notes today and I was like, oh my God, I forgot all this.
Forgot everything.
Really? Again, I think I took a very controlled amount. Also,
you actually did.
It was not a.
We danced so hard.
Meg Thee Stallion was like going to church. It was so good.
She took us to church.
Billie Eilish. We stayed for half of her set, and
she
then
was so cute.
She's so fucking great. The only thing is I love Billie Eilish so much, but we did just want to beat the traffic. So we did end up leaving halfway through her set. I didn't get to see Happier Than Ever, which really bums me out. But
which I do want to say that we left at 11 p.m.
God, this is the logistics of getting out of Coachella. We left at 11 p.m. We got into our bed at 2 a.m.
We were also our hotel was almost an hour away.
Yeah, it was like an hour away. And then I was like, we should get room service. Oh, I drank so much water on the ship. You guys would be so impressed with me. Here's how much water I drank. All of it. I drank so much water, but not in a ferocious way. When I was on the drug, I didn't drink any alcohol, right? But
You're pretty responsible.
Because I think I know better. Like when you're on that, don't mix it with like alcohol and stuff. Yeah. So I just was drinking, but I wasn't like chugging water. I was just like, I wasn't like pouring water on my head like a crazy person like you on mushrooms.
Yeah.
I was just like, I should probably drink water instead. So I probably had like 3 bottles of water while I was there. And then Anna Grace and I have talked about this before because when I lived with my ex, it was like decision time of like which side of the bed we were going to sleep in. And I remember I told him like, you get the side by the bathroom because like he always gets up in the middle of the night to pee. And Anna Grace's like, oh, I always get up in the middle of the night to pee. And I was like, really? Do you or Austin, one of you not? And she goes, no, we both get up in the middle of the night to pee.
Shannon's like, what's up with all of you guys getting up in the middle of the night to pee?
My other friend, Taylor, and her husband, they both get up in the middle of the night to pee. I go, that is crazy. Y'all all get up in the middle of the night to pee. And Anna Grace goes, we're hydrated, Shannon. We drink water. And
I'm literally like, yeah, that's what you do when you drink water.
I go, that's crazy. I've never peed in the middle of the night in my life. I mean, in my life. So we're at Coachella. I'm very hydrated. I was pissed. Here, first of all, I'm not pissed. They are getting up in the middle of the night. Is it not so disruptive? I woke up in the middle of the night like, fuck, I have to pee. Thank God I didn't pee the bed and have some like weird dream. I woke up and was like, I had to pee. And I like went to the bathroom and I was like, this is so disruptive to my sleep. And I peed and I woke up the next morning and I go, oh my God, fuck drinking that much water. I peed in the middle of the night. And she was like, Shannon.
That's wild. Shannon also, when we got back to the room, ordered a bolognese.
There weren't a lot of options for room service. And bolognese sounded warm and nice.
It was warm.
It was nice.
Everything.
What I go, here's what I knew. Here's my thing about me with friendships. I always know what my friends want.
Shannon always orders for me.
To a T. Like I'm her husband. I order for her at restaurants. I order for Taylor at restaurants. And they're always like, that's exactly what I wanted. Thank you. So I go, she's in the bathroom. She takes a shower. She comes out. I go, okay, so I called room service. Here's the menu had all this stuff. Here's what I knew you'd want. I knew you'd want a margarita pizza, French fries, and said something else. And she goes, and a fruit plate. And she goes, perfect. I go, they didn't have any of that. She goes, so what'd you get me? I go, French fries. And she was like, and I said, and bolognese. And she goes, okay. And I was like, all right. And we also had to yoke like a bottle of red wine to come down off of, like, we were both very awake. She had 3 Celsius. It's like, that's not recommended.
We also like did this random thing earlier in the day where like we were trying all these products. Remember too? We took these like.
That was the day before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but there was one day where we were so yeeted because we were at this like Soho House event and they were like
caffeine shots.
We would love to get a picture of you saying like you love this, and I was like, perfect, no problem. Thanks for having us at your event. I was like, I love this, and it was like an energy drink. And then I would like go and someone would grab me and be like, hey, super quick, Shannon, can I snag you for a promo? I go, sure. What is it? And she would hand me another energy drink. She's like, just take the shot and be like, I love blank. And I was like, no problem. I crushed it at this. And I was like, wait, I've had 3 of these. Like,
all of a sudden,
we're taking too much energy.
We're like, all of a sudden, we're like, it was like 8 o'clock that night, and we're like, we're gonna have to drink a whole bottle of wine. Like, yeah. But we were like, at dinner, and I'm sure everyone around was like, these girls are insane.
So the very next day, we had a blast. All that to be said, I had a blast, and I had a great experience on Ecstasy. I would do it again, but I would only do it again at like a music festival or something. Like I don't feel the need to like do it and go to like Tin Roof Nashville. You know what I mean? But we felt quite spent. Our energy was depleted. Oh. So the very last day, we took our deliverables. So in Influencing World, your deliverables are what you like owe the brand. And so we took our deliverables. A lot of people asking me, how did you wear that lingerie all day at Coachella? Like, can you see your vagina? Blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. We didn't go to Coachella last day. We didn't. We took photos at our hotel, at Hotel Revolve, the Maze, and we promptly left and we went to Venice Beach and just relaxed at Venice Beach and ate ceviche and beat all the traffic, and we are goddamn superstars for that. Okay.
It was our dream day. Shannon looked at me and she was like, we're gonna call the valet, they're gonna pack the car. Because I was hungover a little bit. I was struggling. I had 97 energy drinks and tequila. Shannon's like, put on your hair and makeup, do this right now, we're gonna do our content. And
she goes, I can't put on hair and makeup right now. I said, here's the thing, we've got deliverables, my girl. This is why we had to jump a line. We got shit. We are contractually obligated to do this. Also, side note, Revolve, I will always deliver. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me shake my ass on a yacht in Italy. I will deliver your content. Okay. So we did it. We knocked it out. And then we were like, we're going to take this 3.5 hour drive. But people that left the next day were like, motherfucker, we were in the car for 5 hours. Because everyone leaves Coachella the next day. The first year.
It was terrible.
Who were missing their flights. I had a friend that missed a flight. So anyways, we were smart girly pops. We went to Venice. We had a great day at the beach. We FaceTimed Funny Guy for a while.
And I literally, you guys, I begged Shannon when she told me the story. I was like, please tell us on the podcast. It is so funny. And she's like, no, I'm so embarrassed.
I was like, I'm so embarrassed. And she goes, you're not embarrassed. I go, no, I'm embarrassed. Like, I'm embarrassed.
So we're FaceTiming with Funny Guy. Obviously, at some point, Shannon's trying to park in the Venice parking, like public parking, which is just straight up chaos.
Mayhem.
At one point, when I tell you, she's like, all right, yeah, and she just pop out on your side. I am like 4 centimeters from the car beside me. I'm gonna have to cut a hole in the side of the roof. There was no sunroof.
She's like, yeah, Shannon, you gotta move parking spots. I'm like, okay.
I'm like FaceTiming with Funny Guy while she's doing this terrible parking.
Right. Okay. So, and also we love a guy that also is here to FaceTime your friends. That's how Austin was too. Like, we love someone that's not like, I'll call you back when you're alone. It's like, no,
we love it.
We just be giggling. He is funny.
He is so funny.
Okay, so we're talking to him. I don't remember how it came up. Do you?
He asked me if I've seen a lot of uncircumcised dicks.
Yeah, we were talking about dicks, I think, and he goes, "Do you?" And also, now that we're just like, we don't just like randomly talk about dicks. There was like a funny conversation.
Flow to the conversation.
And he goes, "Have you seen a lot of uncircumcised dicks?" He goes, "Don't ask your friend." And Anna Grace goes, like, "Why?" And then I go, "Oh, I didn't tell you," which I only told Taylor because it happened right before I went to her house, and I was so embarrassed. And Taylor's like, "That's bad, dude." And I was like, "I know." So when I tell Anna Grace's story, he's like, "Yeah."
She tells me like basically on the phone with him, and I'm like, no.
And I hung up with him, and then I go, here's what really happened. Okay, I gotta tell you the story. I'm too embarrassed to say it in front of him again because I honestly tried to play it off to him even a little bit. Like, here's the true story. Okay, so I obviously, you guys know I had a one night stand with Funny Guy. Okay, so we have a one night stand. It was dark in the room. I guess it was dark in the room. I don't know. I wasn't hammered. I don't know where I'm at here, and I don't think, I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think I have an excuse for this.
Well, and let's be honest. If you have a one night stand with someone, you're not like, let me see your penis. Let me whip it out. Let me look at it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Unless it's the people that are giving head to completion.
No, but see, here's the thing. If you're giving head to completion, you would probably know better than I do. But I personally, for me, I think I probably did a little head in the foreplay and then we just had sex. Okay. So like there wasn't a lot of examining.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a
lot of, when you're having a one night stand, you're not it's hot and heavy. You're hooking up. I'm leaving. Okay. There was not a lot of examining going on. All right. So we were FaceTiming. He and I were FaceTiming probably like, I want to say maybe like a week later. We had obviously, as you guys know, we've like kept in touch. We've been just like chatting casually. And it was like a week later. So don't know the guy that well at this point at all. Just still chatting with him here and there, having random FaceTimes, you know. And yeah, he's FaceTiming me. And we got on the topic of, I don't know why, maybe people that aren't from America. And he was like, do you see a lot of uncircumcised dicks? And I go, not that many. I go, but I mean, yours the other day, obviously, because he was uncircumcised. And he goes, what? And I go, what? He says, what? And I go, yours. I saw yours the other day that's uncircumcised. He goes, I have a circumcised penis. And I was like, you do? And he was like, oh my God. And keep in mind, also I'm talking to someone that's very funny, so his reactions were just hilarious, but I'm mortified. He's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And I was like,
I have a perfectly circumcised penis.
And here's no shade if you're circumcised or uncircumcised. It doesn't matter. But he was like, there's no extra skin. And I was like, oh my God. He goes, did you even look at my dick? And I was like, to be honest, like not at length, not for a long time.
No.
Like we just
also, nobody it's looking at you so aggressively.
I don't want to look them in the eye.
Yeah, I'm not trying to look them in the eye.
I'm not trying to look those penons in the eye. Like, we don't want to do that.
No.
Penises are funny. I don't really want to look at them. I don't want to look at them in the eye.
Just tell me.
I'm scared. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm kidding. But there was no way. Like, I'm a really good liar. There was no way I could play that one off. I go, oh my gosh, you are not. He goes, I am not. I go, oh my goodness.
Could have been so
I
sure.
was like, wow, I guess I really, and then me, I'm like, immediately, I'm like, I should just play this. I should parlay this into like, I'm such a good girl. I never see dicks. I need to know more about dicks, I guess. I just never see them ever. Yeah, he was like, bitch, the fuck? And I was like, oh my gosh.
I was just like, I was confused.
I was so confused. I've only seen 2 my whole life. I'm a virgin. I was like, I don't know. He goes, don't you have a sex podcast? I was like, Yeah, I don't have a dick podcast though. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. And he was just like, oh my God, I'm going to tell so many fucking people this. I can't wait to fucking tell people. You thought I had what the fuck? I was like, I don't know. Anyways, I was very embarrassed about it. I'm still pretty embarrassed about it. He brings it up to Anna Grace. She's like, bitch, are you fucking serious?
I was just like,
I did. I mean, I'm like, well, I guess I'll have to see it again sometime. Winky face. He's like, yeah, you can't be trusted.
But I am. I was about to say, I love how you're saying like a one night stand, but I also am like really here for this continued conversation.
No, we just like
he's just funny.
He's so funny, and I just enjoy talking to him.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm not like I'm doing this new thing where I don't expect anything, and that's nice.
And he's a giggle.
I enjoy Gigglebot. Love
Giggle.
giggling.
We love
just hanging out and giggling with him. Yeah. So who knows if I'll ever actually see him again? I would like to. That is my discussion on this podcast, but I would like to see him again, and I enjoy talking to him.
And that's on
being uncircumcised. No, he's circumcised. Damn it. It's a confusing concept.
Honestly,
It's a confusing concept.
I need you to take a picture and show me.
I'm like, he would probably be like, okay, show her. I swear.
I like come in with glasses on. I'm like, this is for science.
Yeah, she's got a fucking lab coat on. She's like, first things first, drop your pants. we're like, bend down and cough. Turn your head and cough. Okay, this has been a 4-hour podcast.
So long, but honestly, like a lot of hurdles.
It has been extremely long.
Shannon and I have been through some stuff. We're going back out to the desert tomorrow.
We go to Stagecoach in 3 days. So by the time you guys listen to this, we will be on a flight to Stagecoach. We're going with Show Me Your Moo, a brand that we
elite.
fucking love. It's going to be iconic. We have a house this time with them that we're just really excited about. We will give you all the tea on that. Anna Grace, I just keep calling her being like, is there any chance you could be on this week's episode? And she's like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Because it just doesn't make sense to recap any of this without you.
I know. It's just honestly, it needed, yeah.
It needs it. So anyways, love you guys. That was our Joe Rogan linked version of a podcast, and TTYL.
Love you.
Love you.